Get strong.
Hey everybody.
Hey family, welcome back to the podcast. This is episode 16. I always say the episode at the beginning of the episode because we're cool.
16.
We have another guest with us today, our third one. I will let her introduce herself.
Yeah, my name's Kat. Well, Catherine, but everyone calls me Kat. I'm so happy to be here. I'm a little nervous, a little excited. Let's get it.
Hey, we've never lost a patient.
Perfect.
So you might be our first one that we lose. No, just kidding. So we'll see how it goes. No, I'm just kidding. We're gonna do great. Okay, so guys, how's life going? We have some cool topics today and stuff to get into, and I'm really excited.
Me too.
Cool.
Let's begin.
Alright, so first things first. We all have one thing in common at this table right now. Does anybody know what it is?
Yeah, you're gonna raise your hand? Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
Andrew. Yeah. Hey.
And that is, we're done with college.
We are done with college.
I do
is
miss
our
it.
Commonality.
Me too.
I do miss it, not
Why?
gonna lie.
Why do you miss it?
Why? I think it was just the structure of it.
Okay.
Just being able to know when I'm gonna log on and you be able to learn and be in that environment. I do miss it. I'm probably gonna go back for my master's.
I love that.
Hopefully.
And you're motivated, which we're going to get into later
Yes,
in the episode.
we are.
But I think, you know what I miss about it? Is getting up at like 8 a.m. and being able to go to the gym.
You do that now.
Well, yeah, but like, no, well, I have to go after at the end of the day because I have a busy day.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like in college you had the flexible schedule to be like, okay, like I want to go to the gym, I want to go do my classwork, and then I got class at like 12, not at like 6 or 7 when you gotta like, go to work or whatever.
You know what I miss is like going to like a cute little coffee shop
Oh.
and
You did
doing
do that a lot
and
during
doing my
college.
homework and
Yeah.
like journaling or whatever. Like that's what I miss is just like the whole vibe and aesthetic of like being a college student.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like there's a lot of different places you can go, and it's like acceptable as a college student. Like they give you discounts everywhere,
Yeah.
like the movie theater or like a coffee shop, or like you get like a free extra mocha or something. I don't know, something like that. But it was a vibe,
So at GCU there was the student union, so
dude.
pretty much everybody went there to do their homework, get some coffee, get some Rebel. Well, not Rebel.
What, dude? They had like
Stampede.
they had a different thing at GCU where it was like the Dutch Bros version of a Rebel, but it was like called a Stampede.
I think I've only been to the GCU campus maybe like twice.
Really?
Yeah. So fun fact, I was never really on a college campus. Like I did NAU, but I did NAU online.
Yeah.
So the last time I was on a college campus was at EMCC.
Yep.
And that was what? In
3 years ago.
3-4 years ago, something like that. Yeah. So I do miss, and even EMCC is such a small college. It's such a small, like you can't get lost. It
Yeah.
literally feels like high school.
It does.
Feels like grown up
Like
high
a
school.
fancy high school.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
with no gym.
Yeah, they didn't have a gym.
Like,
the
what?
only thing that they had was like the rec center.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even that big, and they had like ping pong tables, and that was fun. But
Heck yeah.
yeah,
So
that was about it.
I
You know
did
what's-
cross country there, so.
you did,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
which was cool because he did the sport, and he had the best college experience probably out of the three of us, like on campus wise. Andrew did, but I think something that was very interesting was I have been to every single campus like in Arizona. So like
Oh.
I've been to NAU campus, I've been to GCU campus, I've been to U of A's campus, and I've been to ASU's campus. So like I've been to like all the major schools, and I've had friends graduate from all of them. So it's been cool because I've got to experience each campus like through the lens of a college student, even though I didn't attend all of them.
Oh, okay. So like in high school, did you go and like tour all of them? Or
I did that
you
too,
Did?
and
oh,
but
I
that
didn't
was
do that.
excessive of that.
Yeah, I
So
didn't
that's
do that.
Cool. I toured during middle school. I did ASU.
They did quick. They got you
Yeah.
quick. Middle
Yeah.
school. Dang. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, 11th and, well, not 11th.
Like
8th grade.
eighth
8th grade, 7th and 8th grade actually. One was actually on my birthday.
Oh really?
So I got
That's
to go
funny.
to
That's
ASU
cool.
on my birthday.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
and you're
cool.
like you're young. You're an
Yeah.
8th grader. Like you're not thinking about college at 8th grade.
No,
like,
dude, I
at
didn't even know
all.
how to spell college. Right? Like, I didn't even, that was not a vibe.
You're
in
hilarious. Yeah, I didn't. The first time I ever went to NAU was when one of my friends was living there, like in a dorm.
Nice.
And I kind of just wanted to go and like hang out with her, not even like tour the campus or anything. But I did end up going and getting like an official tour of it.
What season did you go in? Like what? Like month? Was
it wasn't.
Like,
It wasn't snowing.
Okay.
But it was cold. I do remember it was cold and windy, but it wasn't snowing just yet.
Well, and I think it's interesting because like I've had people at NAU because it's cold, it's Flagstaff. People think like Arizona, it's really hot, but in Flag, like obviously it's like snowing.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've heard people's experience of like having to walk to class at like 6 a.m. And they're like, it sucks because it's like negative 10 degrees out, and the professor doesn't care. He's
Yeah.
like, get your butt in the class. You gotta be here at 6:45. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I
Like,
never experienced that. And,
Same.
But here's my thing though, like even though I didn't have like your typical college experience,
And-
like I
yeah.
did really enjoy my college experience
Same.
because it allowed me to do like my classes when I needed to, and then also work like 2 to 3 jobs.
Yeah.
So
same.
like that's what I really enjoyed about online is like I got to make my own schedule and still live my own life and not just like go to class, come home, go to parties, like do all like the crazy typical things that like a college student would do.
Yeah.
And I feel like it shaped me into like who I am now to where like now I understand like I need to have a schedule, I need to have a plan rather than just like go willy-nilly and do whatever.
Facts. Well, and me too, because I felt the same way because all three of us did extracurricular activities or sports during college. And like for me, like I got my real estate license, I did YouTube, I had multiple jobs, like
Yeah.
changed schools. So I had all these different experiences and like just like you said, like it helped me grow as a person, find that like school is awesome. But I think a biggest advice for like people going into college is like don't just go to college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
don't let college
just-
be your entire personality.
Yeah.
You have to be able to juggle a whole bunch of different things. And I feel like a lot of college students understand that after maybe like
Yeah.
their first year. I feel like your first year you're still like kind of in that high school mentality, especially if you go from high school directly into college, which
Yeah.
is like what I did.
Same.
But I feel like a lot of people don't really do that anymore, where like they take a year off or they take 2 or 3, and then I feel like there's never a wrong time to go to college. You go to college when you think you need to go. Like I don't think there's like a set rule of how to do it. I just did it that way because it was just easier for me.
Same. Well, I think we all start at the same like starting line when we graduate. When everybody in America, if you're watching this outside America, like, but in America, we're 18, right? Like we all get 18, we all graduate from high school normally, and then you're kind of at all the same start line. But then as you go through life, like you have different. Like some people might do 2 years of like trade school. Some people might do a gap year and then go to college. I met a girl. We met a girl at church the other night that's going to Puerto Rico,
Oh,
and she just graduated from high school. And I
Yeah.
thought that was super cool. She's gonna be a nanny in Puerto Rico, and I was like, "That's sick."
That's like a really big thing right now.
Yeah.
I know a whole bunch of people that are like being nannies, and like the family would literally pay for everything,
lot.
and then you
A
just go
lot,
and take care of the
yeah.
kid, and you're like on vacation.
And they're wealthy families
Yeah,
that like
they're
are around the
well off.
world, and like they can afford a nanny to come take care of their kids.
Mhm.
And usually, like she has a great. I told her I was like, "That's so cool," because like she can take that gap year between high school and college or whatever, and just go travel, go get paid, like go have fun, like learn, like obviously teach kids, learn new experiences. And I thought that was such a cool experience for her.
Yeah, my biggest thing I think I learned while in college was, like I said earlier, like you can't make college your whole personality.
Yeah,
You need to
facts.
be book smart and street smart
Facts.
in order to survive just like in the real world.
Yep.
Like you can't just have your nose in a book and think like you're gonna get a job that way.
Facts.
You need to have experience with it.
Well, and I always said, like, during my college experience, I didn't want to just walk. I always said, I didn't want to just walk across that stage and just get a degree. Like, I wanted to have the skills. I wanted to have the different things, saying,
Yeah.
of, like, things to do, and not just having the skills of, like, okay, I walked across the stage, I got a piece of paper. Nah. Like, I got my real estate license, I got financial wisdom, I got YouTube, I have books, like, all these different things
Yeah.
to become a more complete person in your early 20s, and then just being 22 and, like, walking across. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah, that does.
I feel like we all agree on that. And like,
Mhm.
what was your experience like more in college?
For Estrella or for like GCU?
Well, I think your extracurricular activities
for
really
mine.
stood out for me because you did a lot of filming for sports, and I thought that was really
Did.
cool.
So during Estrella, I was doing cross country.
Yeah.
And I also was doing some video
Photography on the side.
photography on the
Oh,
side
okay.
as well, and then some video for Estrella Mount. Well, for me, because I like to do highlight reels of cross country meets and all that. But I really enjoyed doing videography for Estrella Mountain Community College a little bit, and then when I was at GCU, it turned a little bit because I didn't do cross country there
Yeah.
at all
Okay.
at GCU. So I was just focusing on my 2 jobs that I had, and then I still did video because I worked at GCU TV, which is pretty much video for the
Yeah.
school and sports. So I got to film some cool stuff there, and yeah, that's
Well, and I thought that was super cool that you did those things because you had like so like we all agree on that one thing, that core concept of like going across the stage when you graduate and having like all these multiple experiences. Like you have your degree, but then you have your job, you have your sports, you have your entrepreneur journeys. Like you have all these different things that you can kind of go on starting into the real world, because it's the first time after you get out of school that you're like starting off and like going to that next level and that next stage, which is kind of weird, but you kind of get used to it.
I think the only thing that I would do maybe different in college was just kind of be more involved with the school.
Yeah.
Like I never really did any, like I didn't go to any like special events or like go to like any meets, or like I never went to like a basketball game or anything like that. But again, it's because I was online and I was in Phoenix and like never really wanted to drive to NAU and do all that, which is so weird because I knew people there. I knew a good handful of people.
Yeah.
So I think that's the only thing that I would do different, is just be more like school oriented and not just focused on passing my classes and doing my work and going to work and coming back. So that's the only thing I think I would do different, is like have different hobbies and like go to different special events.
Why do you want to get your master's degree?
I just feel like it would just be like, you know,
The next level,
just like the cherry on top of it. And like I said, like I do love school.
Yeah.
Like I miss like reading and I miss like learning like from a professor and stuff. There was a time whenever I was at EMCC where like I wanted to be like a professor, where like I wanted to go and like teach the next generation.
Really?
Which is still like kind of something in the back of my head.
Yeah.
But I feel like right now I'm kind of more focused on like my financials. And how I would just want to grow and like, you know, get a house and get a car and like do all like these grown up things. And I feel like being in your 20s is like it's such like a precious place to be.
Yeah.
And I feel like you just need to take advantage of it. So I'd rather get my master's now than get it when I'm like 34 and married with like kids or whatever, because that's what you're supposed to do. So I think that's why I think just getting my master's now, and my brain is still developing. Like it would be great to get it before I'm 25. That way at 25, or what is it, at 27 for females, like is when your brain finally develops. So that's kind of my thing.
And that's so interesting because like I'll be 25 and soon here, and that's why I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm almost fully developed adult. There we go.
That is insane. I feel like 25 years is like not even that much time.
Yeah.
Like if you think about it, you've only been alive for almost 25 years. Like that's not a long time.
It's not.
Yeah, it's
and
not.
especially like you're so young, developing years, like your first 10 to 15 years of your life, like you don't know anything.
Yeah,
and then
I
you
feel
continue
I feel like before 10, like I don't really remember much about
Same.
my life. Like it's kind of like a dream. It's like it's there, it's hazy, but it's like I was drunk or something.
Yeah, right. Well,
I still remember where I lived in California.
oh really?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
really cool.
And I moved here in 2005. So
Something that you said, like mentioned with the finance thing, right? The finances of college. So we wanted to go do a quick topic for that. All three of us, like, which was pretty cool. We all like graduated college like with no student loan debt, and I think that's a kind of a controversial topic in today's world that I wanted to go into a little bit, and just say like go around the table and like ask each one of the three of us how we did that. Because I think that's a lot of people's minds right now. I think obviously with the student loan debt being so high in America, which is so sad, and it's a problem, I think I want to bring light on like opportunities for kids to be able to go through college debt free, not have to go out the student loan debt, and like have a jump start in life.
Yeah, definitely. I think for me, what like the high school that I went to was like a D-rated school. Like I didn't really go to a really nice high school, so I didn't really have like the opportunity to really like have a mentor or have what is it called, I never met my advisor.
Oh,
like,
really?
in high school. Yeah,
Really?
so yeah, I feel like because I didn't have an advisor, my mentality of like going to college was, you know, I knew JUCO was gonna be cheaper than going straight into like a 4-year like NAU kind of college. So that's what I looked at was, all right, which community college is like the closest to me? And I was like, okay, cool, like
Proximity.
Estrella is, yeah. And then I went ahead, like took all the tests or whatever. My biggest thing is like I didn't want my parents to pay for it, so I worked my butt off like my last 2 years of high school to like get really good grades and be able to like have a scholarship. I thought I was gonna get a scholarship for playing golf, but I never really looked into it. Like a recruiter never came up to me, which even though I was really good.
Oh, nice!
like,
I didn't know that. Learn something new.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
cool.
I played golf my 4 years, and I thought, okay, cool, like maybe I'll get a scholarship for golf. But I never really like looked into how to do any of that. Like I kind of just thought someone will come up to me while I'm playing golf and do it. you know, like asked me if I wanted to play for their college. But again, it doesn't happen like it happens in the movies, and like I had no idea.
Yeah.
So basically, I just kind of picked the closest community college. I went, took a whole bunch of tests, met obviously with an advisor there, and then figured out that because like my grades were so good or whatever, and I was a nerd, that I could like just go to college for free. And then obviously I had like FAFSA money. So I do think FAFSA helped me a lot. Like it paid for at least half, and then my scholarship paid for like the other half, and I still had like some pocket money from like all these different like funds or whatever from the college. So I think like my biggest advice for someone is just to really look into it. So if you play any sports, or you know, if you're really big
grades,
yeah, if you're really good with your grades or whatnot, like
musical talent,
exactly. Like if no one's coming up to you, you need to go ahead and take the initiative to go up and like, you know, talk to someone. If there isn't someone in your high school, go to your closest community college, or find someone that's already been to college and can kind of guide you in a way. Because I feel like it's so hard. Again, I am first like generation, so I didn't really have anyone to like look up to or like ask all these questions to. So yeah, maybe that's something else I would do different, is maybe get like a scholarship for golf, because I did miss playing golf in college. So I feel like that would have helped me a lot to kind of work as a team and like build myself in that way. So that's how I went to college for free in like for JUCO, was just FAFSA and my scholarship.
I have a sub question for all three of us too that will go around. Why do you think people in this country think they look down on community college? Because all three of us went to community college first. All three of us went to university next. All three of us came out with no debt. All three of us have good degrees, and right. But like, why do you think there's a stigma behind going into a community college?
You can go.
Like what do you,
I'm curious.
Right? Is that a good question? Like,
Yeah,
why?
that is.
That's a good question. Though.
Why?
I'll say, think people that let's see.
Do they think now? I've heard a thing that a lot of parents want to brag about where their kid goes. They're like, oh, well, my kid goes to Yale. My kid goes to Harvard, right? So, like, I feel like it's a parent play to be like, oh, my kid is doing this. But it's why?
I think it's money related.
True, yeah, money.
Money would be, like, the number one thing.
But it's like, why are you going to brag about your son going to Harvard if you're in all this debt?
Yeah.
You know, like, brag about it if he has a scholarship. Brag about it if
he has money to
like,
pay for it.
Full ride, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Honestly, I never even thought about that. Like, I wonder if people do look down upon me because I went to community college first and then
some
to NAU.
people do. But I think in this world, like, I've heard people be like, because when I was in high school, and even I know kids, like, we have, like, some extended family with younger kids in high school that are, like, seniors now, and they're like, Matt, like, what do I do? And I'm like, oh, like, you should go to community college. And they're like, community college? Like, that's, like,
My
what
face,
do you...
I'm like,
they're like, what is that? And I'm like, bro, it's cheap. And
It
and
is.
it's the same thing as going to a university. So I think another problem in America is I think a lot of people look down on it. But it's like, it's cheaper. It's the same thing. But but another reason, okay, I kind of answered my own question. Why do they look down on it? Because I think they want to go, like, do the frat house thing. They want to go live on campus. They want to go to the football game.
Again, that college experience.
The college
yeah.
experience.
And I think another sub question is, why do kids want to go out of state?
From Arizona?
Yeah, or just in general. Like, if they live
Like
in
out of state.
if they
for
live
their
in
college.
Idaho, right? Why do they want to go to California?
I never looked at colleges outside of state.
Because, but you know
Yeah.
why though? It's because when you guys, okay, getting riled up. Here. Yeah,
You're on a rant. I love
so,
it. Let's go.
Okay, so when you cross a state line and you're not a resident, it's like double to triple the price.
I think that's why I didn't look at it, because it didn't make sense financially to do all of that.
So, like, let's say an Arizona school is $10,000, right? And you cross a state line, and it's
That's so
$20,000. Why do I need to pay $20K versus $10? Why do I need to pay double the price to go to that college?
It's like you're not living there already. You're gonna have all these other expenses,
You
and
have
it's
to
like
live
the
there.
college
You
like
gotta live
racks
there.
that on. Yeah, it just keeps going up and up and up.
And you're an 18-year-old kid. You ain't got no money. Or
Most
you got-
18-year-olds don't have a job.
Or maybe you got like a couple $1,000 to your name or whatever, but like
Yeah.
you're not like living in an area where like you're able to go financially support yourself on your own in another state, let alone pay double
You're
tuition
still
for
a
another
kid.
one. Exactly.
You're literally a child.
So it's like so why is it logical that parents are like, some parents are like, well, I gotta send my kid to Harvard, I gotta send my kid to Yale, and then some parents are also like, why do I want to go out of state? it doesn't really make sense because unless there's. But I will give a caveat. One reason to maybe go out of state is if you have an athlete scholarship.
Yeah, that's true.
Like if you're getting like a full ride and like you're getting taken care of,
Yeah.
then like cool. But like if you're not, if you're just gonna go in like 50,
If you're just like a normal person and like don't have any athletic
Anything.
abilities,
or like you're just average.
yeah.
Which all three of us, I mean, we're decently. I
would say I'm average.
I mean,
yeah.
we're great. I mean, we're hard
Nothing
workers.
special.
All three of us are hard workers. We have big ambitions, big
Yeah.
goals and dreams. But like, we're nothing different from you. Like, I wanted to start a podcast one day, and what I'm doing it, right? You just gotta do it.
So average Joes going throughout life.
You go get it. Like
Yeah.
you go do it. But specifically with the college thing is like, why do I gotta go? Like, if this is state line, why do I gotta cross it and then pay double?
I feel like
that doesn't make sense.
I feel like
to me.
people that do that, and again, like I never looked at colleges outside of state,
Same,
just
I
because
didn't.
like it didn't make sense, and I probably did for like a project in high school, and I do
Yeah.
remember seeing that. Now that you mentioned it,
Yeah.
I like was thinking, I was like, oh my god, yeah, that is true. They like compare the two in state and out of state. But I think the biggest reason maybe why someone would want to do that is, for example, let's say their home life isn't all it's racked up to be. Like, let's say
That's a
they're
good-
having like a
that's a
hard
good-
time at home, or
Yeah.
they can't find themselves in the state that they're in, and they're like, well, you know, college is an opportunity to get out of that and maybe be something better, get away from all the negativity.
I like that.
Yeah.
And I was like blessed with like a pretty good home life, so like I'm grateful
Mm-hmm.
for that. But that's true because if you have a bad home life, then you're probably gonna want to remove yourself at 18, which is hard because you don't have
Yeah.
that financial stability yet.
Yeah.
To like get out on your
And let's say, like, obviously your parents are gonna hopefully support you.
or help it
Or help at least.
at some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, even if they don't, you can still take out all these loans and go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
And get out of that negative
Situation.
space that you're in. That's kind of like the first thing that I thought of, because I feel like a lot of people at 18, like, a lot of people in general are still trying to find themselves.
Yeah, which is
at 18,
you don't know
like,
much.
Yeah, you don't know anything. Like,
I know much, and I'm 25.
yeah,
I'm
like
kidding.
that's
I'm
my
kidding.
thing. Like, you're 25, right? You're almost gonna be a 5-year-old adult.
Yeah.
Like, you're literally a kid still.
Yeah.
As an adult, like, you're a child.
You're a young
you're
adult.
You're a man child.
Yeah.
That's what you are.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like it's really hard to.
Your brain's not fully there yet.
Yeah.
Which
and-
I understand and I accept.
Yeah. It's just like the way of life, definitely. With the whole like going out of state with like your parents like bragging about it, I do sometimes like even now get compared to like, you know, different people that like my mom knows or like my grandma knows, and they're like, oh well, she's going here because of her, you know, softball scholarship or this and that. Like they're going and like doing all these amazing things, and I think it's just natural for parents to want to compare
Their children.
their children.
Yeah.
And we're going to understand that if and when we have children, you know,
Facts,
that we're
yeah.
probably going to compare them to people. And it's just what you do. Like, humans are just very judgmental.
We are, yeah.
And at the end of the day, like, a lot of us don't have a filter. And I feel like that's what happens is, like, parents just want to compete with one another's whose kid is better than
Yeah.
the other, you know?
And I agree, and I think, and maybe now, and I think not a smart thing that a lot of kids do is like when they say they want to go out of state, they're like, well, it's because the football team, or because the trees are nice, or because I like the climate,
The
and it's like
trees.
we can't do that. We gotta like
No.
make sure that we're going for. If you're gonna go out of state, you gotta go for a specific reason that makes financial sense. Because, not to be mean, but like the reason you go to college usually is to make more money
Yeah, not to lose.
and gain knowledge.
It's like you get a loan and you're already negative.
yeah, so like
Yeah.
you gotta dig yourself
College
out.
students.
Yeah.
And like if you think about somebody compared to like somebody who has no no debt from a regular university, and then somebody who has $100K in debt from Harvard, the Harvard guy is gonna struggle still because he has the debt.
Even when he has a good job.
Yeah, he's gonna have a good job, but like the guy who has a good job with no debt might do better than the guy who has a good job with a
Like
lot of
right
debt.
now we're all positive because we don't have any,
Student loan debt,
yeah.
student loan debt specifically. Obviously we have other debt, but
Yeah.
like student loan debt specifically. Like I know now that like, you know, I'm going to start my job here soon. Like I'm going to make all this money and I don't need to pay anything off.
And that's
Like,
a good
except like
feeling.
your credit cards
Yeah.
or whatever else you have, you know. But it's such a great, it's like a big
Weight off your shoulders.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I haven't thought about like other people that have student loan debts, it's like, is that something that's in the back of their mind? Like, I wouldn't know.
And
what that feels like.
I feel really bad for them.
Because
I
it's
really
like you already
genuinely
have all these
do.
other bills in your life, and now you have this one bill because you wanted to be a better human. You wanted to go to college and get an education.
Yeah.
And now you have to pay all this off and be stressed about it. Like,
And
that
I-
just sucks. Like, you
Yeah,
should just
it
be able to
actually
go to
does.
college and learn and not have to worry about anything
Money.
else. Exactly.
And I feel bad because like some people like that's their only option.
Yeah.
And like, but I think a thing to that though is if you go to community college, it's cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the biggest thing with like why did all three of us go to community college?
It was,
Because
Cheaper.
it's cheaper.
It was cheaper.
Because do you want to pay $10K a year or like $1,000 a semester or whatever?
what was it a semester?
I think it was like 1,000.
1,000, maybe
I
1,500.
paid nothing.
And I paid
I mean, yeah, we paid
we
nothing.
actually all paid nothing.
We paid
all
zero.
got scholarships.
We
But-
paid zero, but I think it was
Well,
like
you had a
about.
scholarship, right?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
so I guess I'll go next on my like journey through the financial stuff. So the Estrella was like $1,000. Like I can Google it for you guys. I'll put it up on the screen. Okay, it's $1,000 per semester, right? Whatever it is, like that was like 4 years ago or 5 years ago, and I got like the good scholarship because I had good grades in high school. Then I was in like all these clubs,
Yeah.
and then I got like then you get FAFSA too, so you get all these things.
I love
these,
FAFSA.
These scholarships,
I love
right?
FAFSA.
And they paid for my school, put money in my pocket every semester, which was
Yeah.
cool. And then that's how I got through, and I just didn't take out any because every year you'd get like the form that said like, oh, do you want to take out student loans? And then
Yeah.
you just say yes or no, and then you just say no, and then
It's literally
yeah.
you literally check a box.
Yeah.
And that's it. You're in debt. You're 18-year-old
It's scary.
checking a box. It's like, what in the world? Like, you don't even know what you're doing. You don't know what you're getting yourself into. You don't know what the interest is going to be. It is just insane. You literally check a box and that's it.
And you're a kid, like you don't know anything. So like if you went to that thing and they're like, yeah, honey, come with me, like let's take out $50K in student loan debts. You don't understand like what that means, what the impact is, like how you're gonna pay that back, like when the payments are gonna start. So I think another issue is like colleges need to rely less on it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you don't need to like and I don't know and parents you also gotta just like be in your kid's life and be
Yeah.
like, hey, like I don't want to see you suffer.
Yeah, exactly.
It comes down to that.
Because at the end of the day, like, you're 18. That's gonna be your responsibility. That's gonna be in your specific life. Your parents don't have anything to do with that.
Yeah.
It's solely just you. Even if you have their support or you don't, that's tied to your name. It's tied to your social. It's gonna be there in the back of your head every single day.
And it's also scary because there's something else called Parent Plus loans,
Oh,
where the
yeah.
parent takes out the loan and then they give the guilt to the kid of like, oh, you need to pay back
Yeah.
like half of it, and there's no like contractual
Mm-hmm.
or understanding of what's happening in the situation for financial like awareness.
Yeah.
And then you're like, well, what do I do? Like the kid's like 30 years old and he's like, oh, well, you owe $50K to your mom.
And
That's
imagine
not a
like
good
imagine if
relationship
like
dynamic.
yeah, exactly. Like what if your mom or your dad stopped talking to you because of that, because of money?
That-
I feel like a lot of families are like that where it's like money kind of tears them apart.
Yeah.
Definitely like money is it's a sin and a blessing.
Facts.
It is. That is like my biggest thing with it. You
It's
know,
hard.
you love it and you hate it.
Yeah.
Exactly. We just unfortunately need it.
Yeah.
You know, we need it and we need a lot of it nowadays.
Yeah, because everything's expensive.
Yeah.
And it's like in college, like I'm grateful that all three of us got through.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to worry about the burden, and it's hard because I feel like kids. I got through scholarships. Also, I have a quick story. My dad, shout out to my dad, he paid $500 of my college.
Oh, okay.
I don't know because I had like one of the scholarships didn't hit in time.
Yeah, I
and
had one
then,
of those
like,
situations too.
It was like there was like I had like a $500 balance, and my dad paid it.
Mm-hmm.
So that was cool. So my parents paid a total of $500 for like college specifically. Obviously, I like stayed at home and they like food and stuff.
Yeah.
But like for the college expense tuition wise, it was $500, which
Mm-hmm.
out of pocket. And my dad's always happy. Like he's like, Matt, like that was the cheapest college ever. And I'm
I know,
like-
yeah, I
he's
think-
like, yeah, and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah,
like,
I think-
thanks. Shout out to you for working hard. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
I had the same experience. I want to say my dad paid for it though.
Yeah.
And then eventually, I want to say I did pay him back.
Oh wow,
Um,
okay, that's nice of you.
Yeah, definitely. Because it was $1,000. You know, it's
Yeah,
like
mine
it was
was
supposed to be
$500.
free. Yeah, and I think like my FAFSA didn't hit or something like that. And then once it hit, I just like paid him back.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were always like super supportive of like me going to college. And,
Same.
Yeah, it was great just being able to have them there with me and like understand that, you know, I can't come to the dinner table because I need to do my homework, or hey, like don't bother me for a couple hours, I'm gonna be in my room like studying or whatnot. So they were always very like proud of me for being like so into college and so into like learning and doing all these different things. I feel like definitely helps when you have a supportive family.
I think my dad was happy that like $500 college. Pretty
Yeah.
lit. So now
Okay.
let's go to Andrew with his financial story on how he became
Yes.
debt free or went through college debt free.
All
Yeah.
right.
This is I'm trying to be a news reporter, okay? I'm
You're
trying
like,
to be a
take it
freaking-
away.
I'm trying to be a news reporter. It's not
Back
working
to
very
you,
well.
Andrew.
I'm a podcaster, not a news reporter. Okay, here's Andrew. Go.
Okay, so for me, I applied for Australia Mountain Community College, and then I did my FAFSA, and then I got a scholarship as well for school, for classes, and then I did cross country, so everything adds up to the full payment, and boom. I didn't
So
pay
did you get a scholarship for your grades or for
Yeah,
cross
for-
country?
grades.
Okay, why can't I speak cross country?
So there's
did that like help you out too or no?
Yeah, it did.
Oh, okay.
No. Okay.
definitely did.
Okay.
So literally, I paid $100.
Which is a
After
vibe.
everything. After
Super, and that's
everything.
super cheap.
Yeah.
Like college, and we all yeah, like that's super, like that blows my mind. I can't even talk. Like $100,
Yeah.
and mine was $500, and like I'm grateful. Hers was 1,000, like, and we came out debt free. Like it's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't even pay it because Fast ended paying me back.
Paying it back.
Yeah, so it just like, you know what also I really like too is at EMCC, I don't know if you guys ever got like a book fund or whatever it
We
was
did,
called.
yeah.
Yeah, so you get like what, $500 for like books or whatever.
Which is a vibe.
Yeah, I love that. So like I think you would get an email or like everyone would be talking about it. You know what other program really helped me? Oh my goodness, why can't I think of it? It was kind of like a trio. You know how they have like trio or whatever like in high school? It's kind of like that but in college. It's gonna bother me that I can't remember. But I had a mentor. And like an advisor there, and like we would kind of just every week kind of meet up and talk about where I was with my classes, where I was mentally, and we still talk like to this day. Like I have her on Instagram and like really good friends. So I feel like just finding those kind of programs too in college is not only meeting with like your main advisor, but like especially like if you're Hispanic, they have a whole bunch of like little like Hispanic
Like
clubs.
resources.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
resources for specifically like your ethnicity.
Yeah.
So that's what I really enjoyed too about that, and I think that helped me out a lot.
Yeah. So I think last thing, and we gotta move on to the next subject because
Yeah.
we've been going for this one, and I'm glad. I mean, it's been awesome. So, top 3 things. Our advice. Top 3 things to do if you're going into college and you want to do it debt free. I think number 1, which I don't really talk about this much. You gotta work. You gotta work. Like you can't just go to school. Like we talked about a little bit, but like you gotta make money outside of college to then be able to go to college to pay some of it and like make a plan. So that's number 1.
Yeah.
Work. You gotta work. What do you think number 2 for you would be?
Number 2 is just like ask questions. You can't be scared to like look for someone that kind of knows what they're doing, and even if you don't have anyone like that in your life, like go to your closest community college. Tell them, all these ideas that you have and all like what you're thinking, and like go with like questions written down and just be prepared to kind of swallow all this information and really digest it. So I would say my biggest thing is just ask questions and look for resources.
And Andrew, which third? Take us home.
I would say save money.
Okay.
Yeah, save your money, as much money as possible, because if you have that money, you could pay it off.
Yeah.
Or use it as well.
Bonus number 4, scholarships.
Scholarships.
Scholarships, dude. You gotta apply. Get good. Try to get good grades in high school. Try to get some.
That's the
something.
easiest way
Yeah,
to
that's
get
the
a
easiest.
That's the easiest way is just be a good high school student. But like again, like I feel like our advice is kind of like for our traditional way of doing it, where you graduate from high school and like quickly go into college.
Yeah.
So obviously the advice is going to be different if you're like you
25.
Yeah, if you're 25 or if you're 30, like at the end of the day, it kind of just depends where you're at. But I feel like our advice is kind of more for like the traditional way of doing things.
Facts, like because we all 3 of us did that.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I really wouldn't have any advice for someone that, took 2 years off and, isn't straight fresh out of high school. But I feel like that's kind of the easiest way to do it more affordably.
My thing with people there's a name for it. I don't know what the name is, but I think my advice for people who are in their 20s or in their 30s trying to go to college, go to community college. Number 1. Number 2, keep working.
Yeah.
Work your job and then go like at night.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I
Like,
love nights.
Do a full-time job like 8 to 5 and then go from 6 to 8 and do online. If you have your full-time job, you go to community college, you still look for scholarships even you're going there, and then you have to have the last thing, you start with the end in mind. When I was coming out of high school, like obviously I was super motivated to do all these things, blah 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 blah. But I always think for me, start with the end in mind. You want to go to the end and then reverse engineer it.
Oh.
Let's say college-wise, right? It took me 5 years to get through college because I had an extra year at community college, right? But like for me, let's say you want to do college in 4 years. Well, if you're 18, right, you need to say, okay, at 22, I want to be graduating at ASU, right? Let's say ASU. How do I reverse engineer that back to today to get to that point?
That's really smart.
So you got to be like, okay, I gotta have $10K a year for tuition. Let's just say I gotta live at home because I don't want to have dorm fees. I gotta get a job. I gotta make $2,000 a month. Let's say you make $2,000 a month and you save half of it. You got $12,000 a year, and then you got scholarships. So let's say because I made like this thing which I'm probably gonna come out with content in the future, a way for a kid to go through college that's starting at zero. Like if you have $0,
Of course he did that.
and I
Of
made
course
it.
you have a plan. You just have like a book about it.
I do, yeah. But and I think it'll probably come out in like the future or whatever. And I didn't really even follow. I had my own path because I had.
You have like the secret formula, and you're like not telling us about it.
I know, right? If you let's say you make $24,000 a year, which is not that bad, right?
Yeah.
That's not that, it's reasonable, and you make $2,000 a month, and you put $1,000 aside,
Yeah.
and you spend $1,000 to live, right? That's $12,000 a year. Well, ASU only costs $10,000 a year.
Yeah.
So that means without any scholarships, and you live at home with your parents, hopefully, if you can do that, you have your 4 years covered just by doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I just thought of right now that you're like throwing out all these numbers? I wonder what it is right now to go to college. Because we
We
started.
went 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah. So
So- it's probably up a little bit.
it has to be up. I feel like by a lot.
Well, here, I'll Google it. Here.
I'm a little curious
Wait,
to know.
let's
I'm
see.
like,
So at
Yeah.
Australia or
EMCC.
at,
Let's do EMCC
yeah, let's
and
do
ASU.
EMC. Yeah.
AMCC tuition.
Yeah. I'm just like really.
Oh,
curious.
it's still the same. It's still so in-state tuition for the community college is $2,070
for
for a year.
For a year.
for a year, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's the same price.
Huh.
Okay, let's see what it is. Arizona State University.
I wonder why. That is so.
Well,
I
because
could have sworn at least everything went up. Why didn't college go up? Which I guess is great. I'm not complaining about that whatsoever. But.
so in-state tuition for Arizona State University is $11,348.
Look at the difference. 2 to 11. Like, come on now.
Yeah, exactly.
It makes
Guys, think
more
about that.
sense. It
We-
makes more sense.
If you gave me 2 products and
Wait.
said
Did you say 12,000?
11,348.
Wow. GCU is 17,000.
Yeah,
it's
GCU is more.
private,
Oh.
right?
Yeah, it's more
because it's
expensive.
private. Yeah.
So think about this, guys. Like, let's say you wanted to buy 2. We're gonna use our water bottles. Let's say this is sales 101. Okay, you said there's 2 water bottles here, right? This one costs $2,000.
Oh my gosh.
This one costs $11,000, and you have to buy one.
Obviously, you're right.
Which one are you buying?
The 2, obviously.
The 2. So you're buying this one, right? The $2,000. So
and
in
they both,
college,
and they both do the same thing. They both hold water. College, whatever college you go to, it does the same thing. You're gonna learn.
Yeah.
You're
So,
gonna get a degree.
guys, I can drink water out of this one,
and you can drink
and I can drink water out of this one.
You can just
right?
drink your
Wow,
whiskey.
that's crazy.
I know.
So
that was good.
So if we do $2,000 for this water bottle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, or do you want to pay $11,000 for this water
and you get
bottle?
the same thing.
And this one's pretty, and you join a frat, and it has nice palm trees, like that's cool. But it's still $11,000. This one, it's brown, you get some water, it holds your stuff, it gets the job done. $2,000.
Yeah.
College.
Same
Do
thing.
we want to pay $11,000 for college or $2,000
for all
for
these
the
extra
same thing?
Yeah. For all these extra things that you probably will do, and you'll probably have a great time doing it.
But like only if you can afford it.
Exactly.
Because if you can't afford it, if you have no money,
Then why do you?
the
Yeah. Then why do you want to do the
2,000
most
would be cheap.
expensive thing?
Yeah, if you got 11,000, if you have the money, go for it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't have no money,
2000.
I feel like a lot of people don't have money to go to college.
Which
I feel like in my life right now, like no one's talking. Like my younger cousins don't want to go to college, but
Which
I tell
is okay.
them, yeah, that's fine. College isn't for everyone. I understand that, but I tell them you need to get certified in something. Cool, don't go to college.
Education
but
of
you
some
need
sort.
to get educated. You need to get certified in order to have a good job. And I
Yeah.
feel like that's what a lot of people are doing now. Either you start your own business, or you like work with a family member, or you get certified.
Yeah, you go to like trade school.
Yeah, you go to trade school. Like my cousin wants to like do nails and hair and like be like an esthetician or
That's-
whatever.
that's
and
cool.
that's perfect.
But you still
Like,
need education
You
for that.
still need education. You still need to do things legally.
Yeah.
Exactly. So like my other cousin, like he wants to go and like work construction with his dad, and that's perfect. Like construction pays a lot, especially in
Yeah,
Arizona.
Yep.
So I'm like, cool, go get certified in it.
In
Go get
something.
your license
your
for construction.
certificate.
Your
Exactly.
GC, your general contract, or if you want to go to real estate, you get your real estate
Yeah.
license. Like you need to have some type of formal education after high school, or else it's gonna be hard.
Just as a human.
yeah,
you
to
can't-
continue to grow.
Yeah, it's like, do you really want to work at Burger King your entire life? Do you really want to sell clothes your entire life?
Unless you're
You
gonna
know?
own the Burger King.
Yeah,
Like,
obviously.
Then, but like you're usually not gonna do that. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, that was our take on education. We have some more stuff to talk about. But okay, next, guys, next on the docket. On the docket. Okay.
What was it?
So we're going to talk about the American Happiness Ratings from 1972 to 2018. Okay.
I wonder how they scaled
Pretty wild.
that.
I'm gonna put it on the screen here for y'all to see, all you lovely people. Okay, we're gonna put it on there now. As you can see, I'll show them too because I haven't seen it yet. Look at that.
I'm not surprised.
Okay.
So we got this on the screen, guys.
Wait, when did that go up? In 2000, everyone was really happy.
So 1970, we were happy, right? And then we got and then it just 2000.
It just like
dropped.
complete. And this was before what happened in 2008 too.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
then from 2000 to 2005, everyone just started
And then
going down.
And then it was like a little curve. It was like, boop. Okay, now, first things first. 2000. What?
I was born. It was the greatest year.
Yeah, right, the goat. Yeah, came in our presence, right? And I was born.
You're
a little-
welcome.
Yeah, right. I was born a little bit before that. What do you guys know? What happened in 2000? What started to come up?
Mm-mm.
The internet.
The internet.
Oh.
The interweb. The late 90s, early 2000s is when
Yeah.
remember Y2K? I know we're too young to remember that.
I'm like, I was born.
Yeah, you were born and I was like young. So but that was like when the computers were gonna rise and we're all gonna die. And the stock market like tanked. Which
Yeah.
everybody thought we were like, life is over, we're gonna die, everything.
Okay, and that's so the internet came and we were like ecstatic. We were happy. We were living for it. We were having like the greatest time of our lives learning. Okay,
But then
but then what happened?
Instagram came along. And I think that's when it all took
Social
took
media.
away. Yeah, I think
Social
social media.
Well, about before Instagram was
MySpace.
MySpace.
Oh.
And I think, and I saw this thing on social media, right? I was on social media
Oh,
looking at social media stuff, right? Right? So it said, what year what social media company was founded in 2004?
MySpace.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of like where we started. And we were too young to have MySpace, is probably all three of us.
I had a MySpace.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a
Wow.
MySpace.
You were like 6.
Well, yeah,
Or
but
4.
like I think I had one when I was like 10 or something.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
because it was still around.
So
but-
MySpace had its introduction between probably 2004 and like 2012.
That's when like cyberbullying started. And well, okay, but here's my thing: what ages is this happiness scale from? Or
Well,
is
it's
it
just
like
it's the
people?
years.
Oh, it's the years.
So you got years, and then I don't know what the y-axis
Hmm.
is. Guys, X and Y-axis. My 12th grade teacher in math would be happy to
Yeah,
said that.
there we are using. We're using it in
used
real
it.
life.
I used it in real life.
You're
Life
like,
is
find
great.
X,
Like
there it
find
is.
X. Well, it's the red line. So, but anyways, so I think the rise of social media
Mm-hmm.
has been a good thing, but also like a downfall for a couple different reasons. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think the first reason do you think it'd be?
Well, the first thing I thought of when you said social media is just like cyberbullying. Like that's like the first thing. Like that word was probably never ever talked about before the
Before 2000, right?
Before the internet.
That's
you know, I
true.
feel like I'm just thinking about like me, like my first experiences with social media was cyberbullying, and I feel like a lot of us have the same experience with it. Now in today's like day and age, if anyone is like cyberbullying anyone, like that's just it's not cool anymore.
Yeah.
It's like frowned upon. It's like people will like call you out on it. So I feel like right now, at least for like my feed, everything is really positive and everyone's like supporting each other and like being there for one another. So that was kind of like my first thought. Was just like cyberbullying.
And I feel like I haven't heard that word since like 8th grade.
Yeah.
I've heard in that. Yeah.
Because I feel like we've evolved to troll. Right?
Yeah.
Because we used to cyberbullying and now we call it like trolls.
Yeah. I didn't
Like,
even think of that word.
Right?
Trolls.
I'm so old fashioned, I guess.
Same. Well, no,
I
same. Me
thought it
too.
was
Like people say
cyberbullying.
like I'm an old soul and everything, but I think it used to be that we picked on each other behind a keyboard, which is scary. People talk about like commenting on mean things.
People
I couldn't
still
do-
comment.
They do, but I just couldn't do that.
it's like, why? You
I
don't
don't
know this
care.
person. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
You're
like,
an
why
artist.
bother?
Even if the only thing I try to only comment like positive stuff.
Exactly.
Like emojis. Like emojis were a big thing too.
Yeah.
But like if you see it's somebody's birthday and they post on Instagram, say happy birthday.
Yeah.
Like that's cool.
You
But
don't
if,
need to comment on
anything
else.
like negative. Like if you're gonna put a comment, you put positive. Like I don't think I've ever took time in my life to say something really mean under somebody's post or picture.
Yeah, I don't think I've
I
ever done that
can't
either.
because it's like a waste of my time.
I feel like people that do that, that's just who they are, unfortunately. Like, they don't think twice about it. They're just, like, gonna say what they want to say again because they're behind this screen and no one knows who they are, kind of thing.
You gotta say if you're gonna say something like that, you're gonna say it to their face, which most people
Yeah.
won't do that.
Yeah.
I just think we gotta be. Like, I'm like a nice guy. I got
Yeah.
made fun of for being nice for my whole life, but it is what it. I always say that, but
It is what
it is. I don't really care.
It
Like
is
I'm gonna
what
be
it
nice.
is.
I'm nice. Like I'm too nice sometimes. I'm trying to like.
But yeah, that's the first thing I thought of why maybe we started spiraling down.
What-
Whatever.
I think comparison, because like you guys ever heard of the thing, like the phrase like keeping up with the Joneses?
Mm-mm.
No,
I've never.
A little bit.
really? Okay, so it just means like keeping up with your neighbor.
Oh,
So
okay,
like
okay.
they buy a new car, you buy a new car.
Gotcha.
They buy the new Xbox, you buy the new Xbox. They get the iPhone 15, you get the iPhone 15.
I might now that you have it.
See?
I might love it.
We're bad.
I
at it.
have the iPhone 11. I need to upgrade
Yeah, you
ASAP.
yeah, it is
Upgrade.
nice. It is.
It's starting
I'm like,
it's starting to glitch. My phone's like starting. It like wants me to upgrade.
Yeah, because Apple is.
Yeah, Apple does that.
Which I went from the 12 to the 15, but yeah,
I went
anyways.
from 11 to 15.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So yeah, I'm
So-
in your shoes.
So like keeping up the Joneses, like constantly fighting for that lifestyle that like never is gonna satisfy you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think on social media, unfortunately, we see a lot of things that are like, oh, this guy got a new Porsche.
You
Well,
compare
I
your
gotta
life.
buy a new Porsche.
Again,
right?
it's for human. We're gonna judge. Like I'm not perfect.
I'm not either,
I'm a
no.
judgmental person.
Same,
but
yeah.
I'm judgmental in my head, and I
Yeah.
try not to like kind of dwell on it. You know,
Yeah.
judgmental in a way where like maybe it helps me be a better person. Where I'm like, crap, like they're doing that. Like I should be doing that too. Like what
Yeah.
am I doing? Like I'm sleeping. So it's more like you're trying to like build yourself up. But I feel like a lot of people kind of just go on social media and they scroll and they like, and it's just like numbing now. Where it's like you go to kind of escape, but are you really escaping like your reality? Or are you trying to look to see what others are doing to compare yourself to them?
Yeah, and that's like another way of saying like keep with the Joneses. Something I've like implemented in my life. I don't know if I've said it, but like what I've been doing is like, and I'm sure people have realized, I don't on Instagram. I take it off my phone from Monday through Friday.
Yeah, that's smart.
Now
I
I only do it on the weekends. I'm happier.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Yeah, I take little mental health breaks like that too from Instagram. I feel like now, Instagram for me is more of like my personal journal.
Yeah.
Like I don't care about likes, I don't care about comments, or like
Yeah.
I don't care who sees my stuff. It's more for me, like I love going back into my archives and just like
Looking back.
just looking back and being like, oh, like
Yeah.
that's what I was doing like a year ago. That's what I was doing 2 years ago. Like, oh my god, I remember this person, and like we went to this concert or whatever. Like for me, it like social media is just my personal journal where I don't really care really what other people think of it. I just do it for me.
Yeah, same. Well, and I think the big change, I was on Instagram, that was like my app too much, so then I made that shift of like saying, okay, I'm I'm gonna take it off during the week.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want to focus, and then like the weekend, like obviously the main reason I use it is for YouTube, like, to promote every week as you
And
guys
that's
see,
literally
right?
all you post on there.
Yeah. and
Now
then,
that I
like,
think about it, yeah, that's
and the
all you
gym.
post, and the gym, and like
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah.
Like
it's
then-
positive content.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
and if I go like hang out with friends, like we do like a selfie, maybe I'll post that sometimes.
Yeah.
But exactly, I think I'm trying to go. I'm using it just for business
Mm-hmm.
and travel, which is still affiliated with the YouTube channel. But it also want to say this: everybody says we have perfect lives on social media, which I obviously don't agree with. You don't have a perfect life. I think for me, I have like my bad days, like my good days,
Yeah.
and I think everybody like telling the world, you know, just because like you do a trip or you see a car you like or you go to dinner in a nice spot, it still doesn't mean like you didn't have a good day or didn't have a bad day, because you're gonna have in life like good days and bad days.
Yeah.
And I'm a pretty generally happy person. I still have those sad days, or like if you go through something, or like, you know,
Yeah.
life
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Life hits you.
What do you think about it? What do you think about the whole spiraling downwards?
of American happiness.
Yeah.
Happiness. Well, it's kind of sad that people are pretty mean to people.
Yeah.
and,
Yeah. Definitely.
Like I'm a positive person.
Same.
Pretty much every day. Be
Mhm.
happy. Be healthy.
How do you do that? How do you just wake up on the right side of bed every
Yeah,
day?
why? Like what like motivates you?
Uh,
Because I don't
Say-
sometimes.
Yeah.
cause reading my devotional,
That's good.
reading.
Reading your what? I'm sorry?
Devotional.
What is that?
It's
It's like something like a religious thing. It's like
It's a book.
it's like a book. Every day
Oh.
you do one page, and it's like related to like the Bible,
Oh, that's
and it's
really
super
cool.
cool. I did one like a couple years ago
Oh, yeah.
through
So
Tony
it's just reading
Dungy.
something like it helps out.
Mm-hmm.
And then just watch, just looking at some videos on YouTube.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Just be.
I didn't think
Your
about
family
that,
and
yeah.
friends.
Like religion, yeah, now that you mentioned that, religion is like a really positive thing to have in your life. And
Yeah.
it's something that like I've been searching for. You know, it's something that I want to do, I just like don't know where to start kind of thing.
Oh.
But yeah, I feel like religion is probably like one of the biggest things. I feel like that brings a community together, and also kind of, you know, it has its good, it has its bad, but we're not going to get into that. But yeah, I feel like my biggest thing is like what I struggle with in the morning is kind of just like, you know, you wake up and it's like I'm not really happy and I'm not sad. I'm just like grateful that I'm awake, because you never know. You literally never know. We cannot wake up tomorrow. And, you know, we wouldn't know the reason why. We would just not be here anymore. So it's like every day I like take my first breath, I open my eyes, and it's like, yes, like thank you. Like thank you that I'm here. So I think it's just like being like just understanding. Once you have that understanding of like tomorrow you won't be here potentially, once you understand that, I feel like you try to wake up on a positive note, because why wake up and be sad? You know?
And I saw there was two things I've seen that on the internet, of course, that I thought were so interesting. And I don't know if I said it before. It's this guy is like $1 million habit. He said like if I gave you $1 million tomorrow, but you didn't wake up, would you take it?
Well, no, you didn't wake up.
Exactly. So
I can't grab it. I didn't wake up.
so waking up is worth more than $1 million.
Yeah, waking up is so precious.
Yeah, so I think we overlook that sometimes, and like we always try to say to ourselves like how grateful we are, because I think it's an important wiring in your head, because it'll make you happier and more good things happen to you.
Yeah. I feel like being humble too.
Yeah.
Is like a big thing of like being happy.
Yeah.
And being motivated for sure.
Well, and I think the second thing I was gonna say is, so Alex Hermosi is one of my favorite business guys, and he has a big YouTube channel, a big following. He's in private equity, which is a lot of super cool stuff. I've learned a lot from him. And he said something that like really helps me. He said like, you know, the biggest event in our lives, this is like from a perspective of like caring about other people's opinions. The biggest event in our lives is that we're gonna die. Like that's the most.
We all have
significant-
that in common.
Right. That's the most significant event. And then like 2 weeks after we pass away, like everybody's gonna go on through their lives, and then like 6 months, and then a year, and then like 2 years later, like everybody, you know, we're just gonna be a distant memory, unfortunately.
Ooh.
Like it sucks, right?
Yeah.
But then his point is that like if the biggest event in your life that happens is that you die, and then 2 years later, six years later, everybody's moved on.
Yeah.
Why do we care about like what they think about our lives? Why do they care about like what they think about my YouTube channel? Why do they care about what they think about me going to the gym?
Yeah.
So like I think that really helped me to not care about other people's opinions.
Yeah, I would say I could care less what people think.
But I have an
like,
issue.
Like
That's-
someone could drop like a mean comment, and I'd be like, I'll
Like
like
whatever.
it. Like I'll like cool. Like you don't like me, I don't even know you.
Yeah.
You don't pay my bills.
Facts.
You know, you don't bring me happiness. You don't have any effect on my life whatsoever. People are gonna talk regardless.
Good
That
or
is
bad.
like people are gonna
Yeah.
talk, and you just have to be okay with it. Because at the end of the day, if I think back, I'm like, yeah, I've talked about people too. I'm not perfect.
Nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think once you understand that people are gonna talk regardless whether you do things right or you do things wrong, they're gonna talk and they're gonna like just make up lies, and that's just what it is, unfortunately. So you just kind of have to try to get over that and understand that it's not in your power. So don't worry about it.
Well, and one of my like mini missions is like to have people do what they want to do regardless of what people think. Like if you want to go travel, go do that. If
Do
you
it.
want to go do a podcast, do that. If you want to go to college, do that. If you want to go become a firefighter, go do that. If you want to become a doctor, because I've had struggled with not caring other people's opinions too much. I've done a great job of continuing to put myself out there, like with YouTube, podcasts, social media, like doing the things I want. Because at the end of the day, like when I die and 2 years later nobody cares,
You're living your life.
yeah, I'm living it for me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go do what I want. I want to travel, drive a Ferrari, like do these things because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter at the end of it.
No one's living your life but you.
Yeah, like
Just go out and do it.
like I'm gonna go do what I want to do and do what I want to do, and I don't really care. And that quote just ingrained it in me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when you think about it long term and big picture, and it sucks, it's super morbid, but it's true. You're like, okay, I'm gonna do it for me. I'm gonna do what I want because some idiot's opinion doesn't matter. I'm gonna do it because I want to do it.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
that's something big for me.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that too.
And Alex Hormozy, he's the one who like he's so smart. He's like one of the smartest human beings. He's like a doctor but an entrepreneur.
Oh.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
He's as smart as a doctor, but he instead of being a doctor, he's an entrepreneur,
Yeah,
which is scary. But yeah, shout out to him because he's the one who gave me that quote. And
I like that.
That's
I like
awesome.
that you have like a specific like slogan for your life. Let's
Yeah.
say, and like that's and
Don't-
like your motto, like YOLO, like you know, like
Like-
that's your YOLO.
don't worry about other people's opinion. Because like if somebody says, well, oh Matt, like why are you doing podcasts? It's like
It's like,
because
don't worry
I
about
want to
it.
do it.
Yeah.
Because when I die, you're not gonna care anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And when you die, it's not gonna matter anyway. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
At the end, I'm gonna do it for me. I'm gonna do it because I want to get big. I want to become successful, help a lot of people. We want to, build the thing and build our brand and stuff. So
I think that's
Yeah.
important. I think it's important for everyone to kind of have a slogan for their life. Like, obviously, your slogan's gonna change
Over time.
Over time, like my slogan for this year is gonna be different than my slogan for next year. So I feel like my biggest thing right now is like my slogan. I guess it's like don't be comfortable.
I like that.
That's
Yeah,
like
same.
my biggest
Oh, yeah.
thing is like don't be. I'm so scared of like being comfortable in life to the point where like I don't continue to grow. So that's definitely my little slogan is don't be comfortable, strive for more.
Well, and I've also felt like this year for me is I've learned for success, you want to focus on less things and make them bigger instead of focusing on more things and making them smaller.
Yeah.
So, for example, when I was younger, because I've been always so motivated, I don't know why. When I was like 13, 14, 15, 16, I thought I needed to do like 100 things. Like I thought I needed to do like 100 businesses. I thought I needed to do like 100 different investments. But now I understand that like I have my 2 things that I'm all in on right now.
Yeah.
And I'm going to build those hopefully for the next decade. And then that's it. Like I'm not worried about 10 different things. I'm worried about 2 different things.
Yeah. I feel like a
That's
lot of
a
people,
big-
what's the saying, like, you run yourself thin or something like
Yeah.
that? What's the saying?
Yeah,
Something-
you're
Yeah.
too like you're spread thin. You're
yeah,
spread too thin.
you're
Yeah.
spread too thin, and it's like you're not giving your full energy to certain things, and I feel like a lot of people struggle with that too, where like they want to do so many things and they're running around, and it's like you're not really
Focus.
gaining anything from it either,
Facts.
because then I feel like you just get stressed because you're doing so many different things, and it's even harder like when you have a family.
Yeah.
So
facts,
like
yeah.
if you don't even have a family and you're this stressed, like imagine when you have children.
It's
Yeah.
hard.
And imagine
gonna
when
be
you like
hard.
have a partner and you
Very
have all
hard.
these bills and like you're like an adult.
Responsibility.
Yeah. Like a real adult.
Yeah.
Well, and I put it in the business context because I think a lot of people say like, well, I want to do ATMs, I want to do vending machines, I want to do YouTube, I want to do drop shipping, I want to do wholesaling real estate, I want to get my real estate license, I want to go to college, I want to invest in the stock
Yeah.
market, I want to buy real estate. Honey,
Calm down.
you can't do all 9.
Pick like 2 or 3.
Guys, the 9 things, right? You can't do all of them.
Yeah.
Let's say you pick 2. I want to wholesale and I want to do my real estate license. Focus on those 2 things. As you become successful at whatever those 1 or 2 things are, then they can branch out into different things because it says people like want to talk about this thing of like, oh, the average millionaire has 7 sources of income, which is true, asterisk, but the reason they have that is because they focused on 1 or 2 things, got that big, sold it, did whatever they wanted, and then they diversified out.
Yep.
Not the opposite, not going 10 things and then
Yeah.
going to 1. They go 1 thing or 2 things or 3 things max, and then they go into 7, which could be investing in real estate, investing in the stock market,
And they
having a
all go
business.
with each other. It's not
Exactly.
like, you know, you're not gonna get your real estate license, but then like
Wholesale,
Yeah.
wholesale crypto. Like,
Yeah,
they don't go together.
so it's like you need to have those 2 things, but they need to correlate with each other and help each other out. It can't be like 2 completely different things, because then it's like your mind is like in 2 different places.
And as you get bigger and you want to own, if you want to own multiple things, that's okay.
Yeah.
But you have to have people that work for you that manage it and then report to you. But again, that's not going to come until you have one thing that gets you
It's
a
not.
lot of equity and capital to
Yeah.
then help you diversify into other things.
It's not gonna happen overnight.
And that's
And
the biggest lesson I learned
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like I'm so impatient sometimes where I'm like,
Same.
ugh, like why can't this happen already? And I feel like my impatience gets me, again, like stressed or sad, or like I go and like crawl myself in this hole, and like it just shouldn't be like that. You just have to be patient and keep persisting what you want to do. Like you can't ever stop.
Yeah, well, and I think the other thing that I learned about like long-term thinking, like investing wise, it's like if you invest $100 into the S&P 500 for 1 month, you'll have $100, right? Maybe 95 because it went down.
Yeah.
Right? So you'll have $100 after 1 month. Now, obviously, this is an extreme example, but if you did $100 a month for 100 years, it's $500 million.
Oh, that sounds so nice.
Which obviously, like, this
That
is
sounds so nice.
This is a hypothetical, but like the point is, it takes a long time for things to generate. If you do it 1 time, you're gonna be like, oh.
Yeah.
If you do it 100 times, you're gonna be like, I see progress.
Yeah.
If you do it 1,000 times, it's gonna right. So like, if you only invest that 1 month, it's $100.
Like it's not
Like
gonna
whatever.
do anything. Yeah.
But if you do it over a really long time, it's gonna be like, and that's workout, that's gym, that's investing, that's school, that's
It's with
work,
everything.
that's
It's
life,
life.
that's relationships. It takes a long time to build that foundation.
Process.
Yeah,
And that's
definitely.
the biggest lesson that I've learned this year. Focus on 1 or 2 things instead of going on 10, and then over time it'll build, and then you can diversify later, 30, 40 years from now.
What do you think has been your like biggest lesson this year
I'll say.
thus far?
Ooh,
Because we still have
yeah.
a few
Yeah.
few days.
Well, just learning some new stuff that I haven't learned in the past year, and getting some more knowledge of the idea of new opportunities, and making sure that I get those skills, and just growing into the
Yeah.
world as well.
So it's like you see a door and you're gonna
Yeah.
open it.
Yep.
Yeah. You're not gonna strive away from like something new and something that you can grow from.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think my biggest lesson, and I feel like a lot of people nowadays can like really resonate with it, is just like self-love. I feel like that, right now that's what I want to focus on more, but I feel like this last year has been, it's been tough, but it's
Yeah.
taught me a lot. It's, again, my other slogan, which I always say, is everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Whether it's good or it's bad, it happens for a reason. We might never know the reason. But at the end of the day, the reason doesn't matter.
Yeah.
What matters is what happens after the fact. It's like, what are you going to do to grow and learn from, like, your mistake or from other people's mistakes or just, like, from life in general? So I think that's been, like, what I've learned is things are going to happen. They're going to be out of your control sometimes, and you just have to learn and grow from it and not let it...
You're gonna have sad days. Trust
You
me.
are.
Oh yeah. Or you not sleep enough. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
you are. And you just have to keep going. You have to wake up with a smile on your face because the universe, God, whatever you believe in, decided that it is your day to live again. So
Because
that's... yeah.
you woke up.
Yeah,
you didn't
you
get the
woke
$1
up.
million. You woke up.
Exactly.
Which is better than $1 million.
Oh yeah, I would take life over $1 million any day.
Yeah, you got to understand. It's a blessing to be able to wake up. It doesn't have to be a great day. You just woke up, you make the best of it. You keep going after your goals, and it just takes a long time to get anywhere. It took us 4 to 5 years just to get a degree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it takes time.
It does.
Yeah. So
I
it's
could
like
have done it.
patience.
I could have done it in 3.
Yeah, she's a
I could
baller.
have done it in 3, but I didn't want to be too cocky. You know?
I could have done it in 6, but I decided not to. I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it was a lot. College was a lot, especially
was.
just because like it's just learning. You're learning life. You're learning new skills. I had like 3 jobs at one point. So
One of your hardest, and I know you're gonna be successful, and like I'm proud of you.
yeah, thank you. I'm proud of me too.
Hey.
I'm proud of you guys too. But like, you just have to be your biggest supporter.
Facts.
That's like, you're
For
your
sure.
worst enemy or your best friend, and I want to be my best friend every single day of my life.
And so I think I've learned that like self-confidence comes from like doing.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have social proof of what you want to do to be confident in it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So
I
that's
agree.
a great way to like end. I think that's great. And if you want self-confidence, you have to do it.
Just
You
Nike.
have to have-
Nike. Just do it.
Nike.
You gotta
Nike.
have
Just
like
do it.
the social proof. Like if you want to go to the gym, go to the gym for 100 days straight, and then you'll be confident that you can go to the gym.
What is it? What are the days like? You do something for a specific amount of days and it becomes a
I
habit.
think it's like 30.
I feel like it's more.
No, let's Google it.
Google it.
We're gonna Google it.
Oh, I love Google. I love Google.
What did we do before 2000?
Not be born.
Yeah, right.
I
For
wasn't
real.
born.
I was born in 99.
You were born 99.
How many
days does it take to
make a new habit?
make a new habit? Yeah. I feel
To
like
form a habit.
it's 82 or something.
66.
66.
66.
You're right.
Mhm.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Crazy.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that. I didn't
There's
know
like,
that.
yeah, so I feel like I have little habits now where like even drinking water, like that.
Hey, we both almost drank a lot of water.
Yeah. I'm
Mine was a lot
almost there.
cheaper though, if you don't remember. that
Yes,
episode.
yours was 2. Mine was 11. 'Cause
Yeah.
she's cute. And
Yeah.
she has a straw. But yeah, you just gotta go out there and do it, and ask questions. I think
Yeah.
that's been my biggest thing recently. Is like I'm so annoying with how many questions I be asking people sometimes, and it's just like
You gotta learn.
Yeah, I like to learn, and I like to get people out of their comfort zone.
Facts.
You know, at the end of the day, like we're all here for a reason. We're all here for a purpose, and I want to find my purpose. And if I can help you find your purpose, perfect.
Facts.
Dream team right there.
Yeah. I love it.
Dream team right there for
I love
sure.
it.
Yeah.
Dude, well I think that's it.
That's
I
it.
think that's it. Yeah.
I think that's it, guys. I think
That was
we
a good combo.
Okay, this is the first one over an hour.
That's
Mm.
crazy.
Jeez, we
I could keep talking.
I could too.
I
could
could
too.
keep talking.
We definitely want to have you back on in the future.
Yes,
We're
I
gonna
love
get
it.
mics, guys. That's coming next year.
Ooh,
Next year.
I'm excited.
Yeah, mics. We're gonna be like legit,
Mm-hmm.
multi-camera. We got like lots of ideas.
Yeah,
We
so
got
we're
lots of
excited
ideas.
for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna keep going. Got a lot of cool guests coming.
Mm-hmm.
We've had 3 amazing, incredible guests so far.
Yeah.
And I'm excited. One of the goals for me is 100 episodes.
Yeah.
I think this is episode 16. So
We're going.
Road to
You,
100.
Right.
you can only go up.
Yeah,
you
right,
can't go
we're-
backwards. You can only go up.
And like I think we're gonna keep getting better. We're gonna keep getting more quality. We're gonna change up locations. That's
Mhm.
been. We already have some episodes from other. We want to do other places. Like yeah. We want to do an out of country one someday.
Ooh.
That's my goal too.
That's the
That
goal.
would be so cool.
Yeah.
That would be so cool. In
So-
Spain,
Hey.
just like bring your
Hey.
equipment.
Hey, don't tease them. Don't tease them.
Tease,
Yeah.
no tease, no tease.
Sorry, spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Just kidding. We might be in some tropical paradise.
Love it.
With some nice shades on. With a nice cocktail in my hand. Just kidding.
You're speaking my language.
Yeah, like we're
You
gonna
really
have guys. Good.
No.
Stay tuned.
Whoa.
The world's our opportunity. You never know. You
Wait,
never
is it
know
the
where-
world's your oyster?
Yeah, the world's our oyster.
On these corny little like life quotes, I love it.
You never know what country we're gonna end up in.
Mhm.
That's true.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, for this episode, it was a great one.
Yeah, thank you
I
for
liked it.
watching.
Thanks,
this
guys.
is Andrew.
Matt.
Cat.